Welcome back to the next lesson of our web design class. In this lesson, we are going to learn about the WordPress dashboard and everything that has to do with it. So in the previous lesson, we ended up installing WordPress and we saw our site. This was the site we created, and the dashboard looks overwhelming if this is the first time you are ever seeing a WordPress dashboard. However, I'm going to demystify this dashboard. I'm going to explain it to you so that you understand and appreciate everything here. Okay, this is like the simplest interface you can have, because it can get more cumbersome than it is looking now. Okay, so I need you to pay attention to this lesson and understand these ones, because it will be the backbone for all the other things that we are going to do subsequently. We are going to build on this particular lesson for every other thing that has to do with web design with WordPress. So please, and please again, pay particular attention to this lesson. So on the dashboard, as you can see, this is our dashboard. When you click on the dashboard, this is what you are going to see. It's just a summary of an overview of everything that is happening. And it's not everything here that is necessary. Some of them, we can even get rid of them. So for instance, welcome to WordPress. We don't really need it. You can get rid of it. And all these things, the activity tab, WordPress news and the likes, we don't need it. Okay. And we can, this is just a summary. Okay. So maybe subsequently I'll teach you how to get rid of them. But the dashboard is just a summary of everything that's happening on your site. Then you can go to home, which is basically the same as the dashboard. Then update. So update has to do with whether, even though we are here to talk about it, but this place we have what we call the WordPress itself. Okay, so we installed WordPress 5.8.1 and they keep updating it. So you may come in next tomorrow and there is a new update. So when you come to update, you are able to come and update that version. So you realize that we have the latest version of WordPress installed. If we want, we can reinstall it, but it doesn't make sense for us to reinstall it now. Then we have something we call plugins, which I will explain in subsequent lessons. But plugins, we can also come and update our plugins from here. Then finally, we have the themes, which we are going to explain as well. So you can come here, and if there is any need, right now you realize that the update is 1. You can see 1 in red beside update. It's the same thing that is here. So this is telling us that there is an update. When you click on it, it will take us to this same page where we are supposed to update our items. So anytime you come here and you see a number here, or you see something beside updates, it means that you have one or more of these items to update. That's the current version or the version of WordPress you are using, the theme and the plugin, any of them to be updated. The next thing is posts. So when you talk about posts, we mentioned something about blogs. So with blogs, the content you're putting out there is in the form of posts. Okay, so the news items you're putting out, the articles you're publishing, those are what we call posts. So when you come here, you can create posts from here. And we are going to delve more into it later. Then the next item is media. So any images, videos, audio file, any media at all, files, PDFs that you upload will be listed here. And you can come here and upload any other that you want. So for instance, your site's logo, the pictures of your team members and the like, all the images that you need to use in your website will be captured in your media library. Then for pages, so in the very first lesson, when we explained what a website is, we talked about web pages. So a website is basically a collection of these pages. Okay, so these are this is where you create the pages. Currently, we have privacy policy and sample page. So we will subsequently come here to create our pages. Then comments. When people come to your website, they are able to leave comments on the things that you put out there. Okay. So for instance, I can write a story and publish it, and people will come and comment. Just as when you go on YouTube, you comment, you get to see their comments. You're able to approve or unapprove or reject them, reply them, or turn them to spam and the likes. We'll look at it later. Then appearance. When it comes to appearance basically has to do with everything that we are going to see at the other end when people see our website. Okay, so this is what we are referring to as appearance. Anything that you are seeing here is the appearance, and for that matter has to do more with the things here. Okay, we have the themes, which we are going to discuss soon. Customize to be able to customize the theme to look more like our own or how we want it. Widget, we will explain widget soon. Then menus, so to add menu items like about us, contact us, home page, all those ones. Okay, then background theme editor, we'll take a look at all of those things. Then now the plugins. So I said we are going to explain what they are and you will get to understand them soon. The next item here is users. Basically, how many users do you have? If it is a website where people can subscribe to, people can sign up. Let's say it is an e-commerce site where people buy things from, they should be able to sign up as users. All users do not have the same role. We have different roles. We'll explain all those things in subsequent lessons. We have tools that will help us do import, export, and some other functionalities along the line. We would appreciate it. Then settings. Obviously, almost anything that you do, there are settings. So when we were creating the website, I told you that we will be able to change our site title. So this is where you come to change your site title. That's settings general. Then site title, as you can see here. I chose Web Design Bootcamp as a site title. So you can decide to change it to anything. And when you go to your site, you see in this particular theme that we are using, this is where the site title is displayed. So you can come here and change it. Then tagline. Usually, tagline is more like a slogan that usually goes with your site title. So as you can see, this is the tagline that's under the subtitle. You can decide to ignore it, but it's also good to have it. So where you master design. Let me just say that's the slogan or tagline that we are using. Then WordPress address. Okay, so this is the website address. If it is an online, then you make sure that it contains, if it is online, then you make sure that it's your domain name, the right domain name that's there. And preferably would want a HTTPS. I explained this in the very first lesson, having an SSL certificate. So you would have gotten one for yourself. But for this, it is not necessary because we are hosting it locally. And the same thing, the site address too is the same thing here. Then administration email address. So this is the email address that becomes the admin. So if there are any things, let's say any email that has to be sent through the website, they are going to use this email. All right, then membership. You want to turn this on if and only if you want people to be able to register or subscribe to your website. Okay, so there are some websites where we don't need people to subscribe to. For instance, if it is a company website where we are just putting our information about the company, our working hours, our staff, and the likes, we don't need people to come and sign up. So we'll have to turn this off. But if it is a membership site, it is a course selling site, okay, or an e-commerce platform, then we need people to be able to register to buy something. So that's how when you go to a website and you are going to purchase something, you go to the checkout and they ask you to enter your details. You are signing up to that website. That if we need anything of that nature, then we have to turn membership on. So it depends on the type of website you are trying to create. Then when somebody signs on, what role do you want to assign to them? So for now, just subscriber. We explain the roles when we talk about users. Then the site language. The language we chose was English, so we can maintain it. The time and the date is up to you. So now, if you made any changes, you have to make sure you save the changes. Writing. Basically, this has to do with the post that we are going to create, and I think we will appreciate it when we get to the post. So this part isn't really relevant for us right now. We can continue reading. Also, I think I'll explain this later when we start creating pages, so we don't need it right now. The next important thing will be under permalinks. Okay, so let's move straight to permalinks and let me show you something there. Under permalinks, I need you to do something which is very important. if you have ever learned anything small about web design or having a website, there's something we call SEO, search engine optimization. That is optimizing your website for search engines like Google to be able to easily pick your website when people search for things related to your website. Okay, your URL, that is the address, okay, that people use to access the files that you have or the various pages that you have. That URL should be SEO friendly, and the recommended format for SEO friendly URL is what I'm going to show you now. It's the one that comes with a post name. So the name of the title is usually inside the URL. That is friendly according to the SEO tactics that or knowledge that we have. That is the most SEO friendly. So you want to make sure that instead of day and name, come and choose post name. Make sure that you choose that one. Then we are good to go. So you can go ahead and save changes. So at least we are done with the dashboard. Basically, these are the things that you would need to appreciate here. And as we go on, you will understand more and more of them as we practicalize them. So in this lesson, in summary, what we have learned is the various things on the dashboard and what they are actually meant for or what they are used for.